Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to my channel Building Cool Stuff. My name is Branislav. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. So today we're building a 375mm tall mega grade fighter, which kind of accidentally resembles a Gundam. I don't know why. Alright, you got me. This is a knockoff, a bootleg kit. I'm guilty. Yeah, every once in a while I build those. Like if I can't get my hands on a Bandai kit, I'll buy a bootleg and just build it. And the quality is not, of course, it's not as good as Bandai. You can see it when you take the parts, especially if you've built a couple of kits. You can see that the quality is different. The edges are not as sharp, as crisp. The plastic quality is not as good. Often you can have parts that are not completely filled with plastic within the mold. So it takes a lot of fixing and fiddling, and I've promised myself more than once that I will not do the bootleg kits anymore. But you know. So, as with every paint job, I approach it the same. I cut off all the parts from the sprues, separate them by colors, clean them up, and get them ready for painting. This kit is rather big, all the parts are big and beautiful, and I've decided to paint it with the... I wanted it to look exactly like the 3.0 Master Grade Gundam, because it looks awesome, right? So there'll be a lot of masking, a lot of... Yeah, and on top of that I wanted to do the pre-shading. It's a lot of fun. This pre-shading thing is like, I don't paint without it anymore. Basically, I've said it in previous videos. Basically, what you want to do is prime everything with black, do the lighter... Prime everything with black, do the light gray or white detailing, and then slap the color on it. One more thing I wanted to say about the bootleg kids. Bootleg kids? Not bootleg kids. So I'm about to do the next big project will be Sazabi. And I have Master Grade Sazabi from Bandai, and I also acquired a bootleg that I do believe this time, actually I'm quite sure it's Daban. So I will do a direct comparison between these two. I'm not promoting one or the other, just buy whatever you want. I'm a model builder, I build models, I don't build particular brands. And I've heard a lot of different opinions on it. Well, Gunpla is freedom, everyone keeps saying, so you know, just do what makes you happy. Anyhow, this is the pre-shading I was just talking about. So you do the black primer on all the parts, and then you just go with highlights with the light gray. All my primers are Mr. Color primers. They're all 1500 grit, just nice and smooth, and they're diluted with the thinner with retarder in it. So it flows nice and smooth, and it doesn't cure so fast. So it has enough time it has enough time to attain that nice smooth surface. I said earlier that I do highlights with light gray. Well, these are not even highlights. This is just like panel line separation. I keep the darker areas around the panel lines, which is not bad. So when you're doing this kind of kit, you gotta do a lot of masking. because there is no part separation. There is no color separation on the parts themselves. They're all molded from single pieces, a big chunk of plastic. So you gotta use a lot of masking tape, mask out the parts that you want painted in another color, and just, you know, go one color at a time. But if you want to preserve the pre-shading, well, then you gotta mask out one part, then paint, then do the negative masking, like mask the parts that you've painted, mask them again, reveal the other parts that were masked previously, and then do another color. I think it's self-explanatory, but that's what this video is kind of about. So just, you gotta watch till the end. This would be the great moment to say thank you to this band that we're listening to, Bullet for a Bad Man. They're a wonderful band. They're my friends from Belgrade in Serbia. They were kind enough to give me this music, and I always mention their names. You can find them on pretty much every platform for listening, for music streaming. So if you like it, I'll leave a link in the description. So back to the paint booth. Shake your paints. Dilute them enough. You can even mix them within the airbrush. I wouldn't recommend it because unless you know exactly what you're doing. Like, I pre-mixed paint in the airbrush and then I could see the result after I've applied it. This came out kind of pinkish. Not really the shade I wanted. And because I've been covering the pre-shaded parts, I couldn't just go and repaint with another shade. One way or the other, it turned out acceptable. But you know, do the test spoons, or even just keep a bit of paper underneath. Just spray a little bit on the paper, just a thin coat, and you'll be able to see what comes out. As you can see, the paper on my spray booth is, it's been used and reused. I failed to mention the paint types. I've used mainly Mr. Hobby paints, Mr. Color paints with proper accompanying thinners. Some of the paints are also Alchemy, that's a Chinese brand that I usually use for my paint jobs. So that's that. I'll try to put the pictures in. So I gotta say that this project started more than 9 months ago, and it was just sitting on my computer. All the material, like the Gundam, was finished, painted. It's looking at me as I'm recording this from my shelf next to my piano. It's been sitting on my computer. I was just procrastinating for over 9 months, which is a shame. I haven't been uploading anything, but I promise I'll be more diligent. Like I said, I'm planning on that Sazabi project. Also, I have some other kits that are like not Bandai. I've recently acquired Zero Gravity's Judge, which I plan on painting. So we'll see whichever is next. I'll edit it and put it on my channel as soon as I can. I gotta say, this shield was great for painting, just because it's big and it's full of panel lines. It's really nice. So for 5 years now I've been painting Gundams. 5 out of my 6.5 years in China. Oh yeah. Lunchtime. That's why I'm fat. Anyway, bon appetit. To myself, right? So for 5 years I've been painting Gundam model kits. A few of the other kits, that's why the name of the channel is not Building Cool Gundams, rather Building Cool Stuff. Like, I have a couple of mobile suit kits as well. However, recently I've started painting Warhammer, and I can tell you guys, if you're into painting, that thing is sweet. Just look at how some of my latest, well, my first and only work so far turned out. I'm quite proud, and it's a different gist altogether, different thing. Like, as you can see, I'm using markers. These are I still can't say their name. Despia's markers. They're very nice for editing, for adding details, but don't forget to do the top coat in the end, because they come off quite easy. But what I was saying earlier is, when you paint Warhammer, most of the job is done with just brushes, and it's kind of more personal. It gets you in the job. Like, if I paint Gundams, I spend a lot of hours with just paintbrush, with my compressor, and just going through long sessions of painting, like hour and a half, 2 hours for one go. All the primer, all the whites, all the metallics, all the reds, all the blues, whatever. But when you're doing Warhammer, like, you get into it. Every brush stroke counts. You gotta be focused, you gotta be there, and it gives me even more satisfaction. So let's see where this takes me, but there might be a Warhammer figurine army painting video in the future too. Although I'm not nearly as good as those videos that I keep watching. So for now, it's all Gundam. So we're getting closer to the end. I've assembled the RX, and you can see how masking with a masking tape and painting with different shades gives the illusion of having like color separation on the kit. Well, you achieve color separation, even though this is like I said, one big chunk of plastic. Panel lining is unavoidable part of the paint process if you want your kit to look good. I always use Tamiya enamel wash. It just gives great results, and it's easy. The capillary action is so satisfying. You just put your brush onto the panel line and see how the panel line itself draws the ink through. And then after that, it's just a matter of using as many cotton buds as you can, dip them into the enamel thinner, and just clean everything up. And that's that. I usually do the panel lining first. Well, I always do the panel lining first on a second thought. I do it before I apply the water slides, because a lot of water slides will go over these panel lines. You use a little bit of softener, and they just sink in. They follow the shape, the texture of the surface. You can even redo the panel line after that. However, if you do the water slides first and then you apply panel line, very often the panel line will, the wash for the panel lining will be dragged underneath the water slide, and it can damage it. I mean, it can detach it, destabilize it, whatever. Just use common sense. In the end, you gotta protect your work, especially if you apply water slides. Do the top coat. As you can see or cannot see, and I'm about to explain, I tried to get the semi-gloss. So I mix glossy and matte varnish. varnishes. And well, yeah, I did it. Like, it gave a pretty satisfying result. So how about that shot? Over the shoulder cam, more like into the shoulder cam. So here we go. Mega grade fighter, or mega grade Gundam RX-78-2. Oh, here you are. The comparison between the size of the comparison between the master grade 3.0 and the high grade Origins version. Well, high grade is painted, master grade is not. You see how big mega grade is, towering over the little ones. Oh yeah, and because my mom liked my Lego motorcycle, well, I had to add this. I doubt that she'll be watching this, but you know, Mom, that's for you. I gotta say, I love the kit. I love the kit. Even though the building itself wasn't that great, the video editing was a pain. But like, the finished model looks really nice. What did they say? The shelf presence is really high because it's a tower. It's really huge. And you know, when a kit is so big, you can do whatever you want with it. You can weather it, you can do the damage, you can incorporate it in a larger scale diorama. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this, especially if you want to paint it. Non-painted looks kind of bland, but painted, well, I think I did a good job. What do you say? Of course, you can write to me and say that you don't like it at all, or that you do like it. Write your comments, tell me what you think. I do apologize for not posting anything for over 9 months. I will be more diligent and post more stuff and build more stuff, right? So, if you've reached this far, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with me. If you've subscribed, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done that yet, please do subscribe. Support this channel any way you can. So, once again, thanks for watching and see you next time.